everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie. I am your host, and I'm so happy to be here. Of course, you're listening live to 12radio.com. If you're listening live today, it is the 14th of March, Pi Day, for everyone who has math students, and lots of other things we're going to talk about today. But it is 10 a.m. Pacific time, and I am over in the chat room. So I want to let you know I'm over in the Facebook chat. And if you'd like to join me there, just head over to 12radio.com, click on the chat button, and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat room. You will also discover that I am live streaming this event from the chat, so you can watch it if you'd like to, right there in the chat room through Facebook Live. If you would like to watch it later on, I always archive it and put it up over at on my on my YouTube channel, which is Domestic Mystic here or over on YouTube. Oh, and I'm having fun on YouTube, putting up videos of tutorials and aromatherapy stuff and just having fun with YouTube. So that's a really fun way to connect as well. So I would love it if you followed Domestic Mystic on YouTube. And I'm glad to be here. I hope you guys are having a good week. From who I've talked to so far this week, I think for the most part, yes, we're hanging in there. But oh my goodness, so many things happening today. So many things happening in my family today. Oh my Lord. It is my oldest daughter's 17th birthday. So happy birthday to Miss Matea. This is the kid who basically rules the world. When she was a toddler, her nickname was Madam President around our house because she was in charge of everything. And she pretty much still is. She is brilliant. She's a natural born leader. She's a very creative Pisces. She's already gained her CNA as a junior because she's working towards a career in nursing. I've laughed and thought, oh yeah, she'll be a floor supervisor in no time or something because she's always in charge. She's just good at it, actually. I've lots of times referred to her as my personal assistant because frankly, sometimes she's a lot more organized than I am. But anyway, she is a brilliant, brilliant human, and I'm so lucky to be able to call myself her mom and be a part of her world. So happy birthday to Matea. The other exciting thing happening in my world today is that my son, our 18-year-old son, is finally signing an official commit for college football. And if you guys have listened to me for a while, you know that this has been an insanely long process. Recruiting is no joke, man. It is, what do we say about it? It is emotional. It is incredibly time consuming. It's exciting. It's fun. It's disappointing. It's everything kind of all rolled into one, especially when you have a dream, and his dream since he was little was to play college football. So it's been a very long process to get here, but here we are. So today I get the pleasure of watching him officially sign his letter of intent and join a team. So pretty exciting. So congratulations to Micah as well. So yeah, big day at my house. It's all good, all this mom business. I wouldn't trade it for anything. And sometimes it takes a lot of balance, that's for sure. If you're watching the Facebook Live, you'll probably notice that I have a different background than I normally do. Last week, the sun was so bright shining in my windows in my office that I didn't like the picture quality at all. And I realized, you know what? I'm going to just turn this room around. So I came in here on Sunday and just started tugging furniture around and making a big racket and rearranged the room and put my desk against the other wall. So I'm looking out the big windows now instead of them shining in on me. And then you get to see the wall behind me. So I like it. I like it a lot better. I think the picture quality is much, much better. So anyway, that's kind of fun. I discovered actually I like it better for other reasons, that when you look through the big door from the other parts of the house, you can see the desk now, which for some reason that flows better for me. And I don't know, I don't feel as hidden in here. So maybe sometimes I want it to be hidden, but I like it a lot now. So anyway, I'm super happy in here. It feels really, really good. All right, I'm seeing some questions come up in the chat room. I will definitely be taking some questions today. I should have plenty of time for that. So a few fun things to pay attention to today. The rainbow and crystal children on our planet have had enough of the bullshit. Have you noticed? Today is the first day. This is National Walkout Day. So this is the day where the high school students are walking out of their schools, and it's actually already happened or is happening at this moment. They're rallying, they're pulling together, they're saying enough is enough, we're not going to put up with any more of this, and we are done getting gunned down in schools, so find a solution. It's become a polarizing thing because those on the right side of the aisle, or the more conservative side of the aisle, of course, are very concerned about the idea of their Second Amendment rights being taken away in some way. Those on the other side of the argument feel like it's time. You know, you've had your opportunity to have free reign with guns, and that's not working out very well. So there's just, it is very polarizing. It's a huge conversation. I don't need to get into all of that. All I want to say is, wow, are these kids rocking my world? Rocking my world. Definitely the kids in Florida, the ones that have been the most outspoken, incredible. And what an incredible amount of strength they have shown, bravery they have shown. These are kids who have just gone through a life-altering tragedy, a crisis that will undoubtedly, you know, live on in their memories and create, hopefully not, but likely to create some PTSD for them. And yet, they really put that aside right now to jump up and stand up and make a statement. And I'm so impressed with them. I've seen a lot of mean-spirited talk about these kids, and a lot of talk about the fact that they're just being used as pawns. And I think that's kind of interesting because if that's true, then maybe everyone's being used as a pawn in some way. But ultimately, they have an opinion, they have a voice, they're loud. I couldn't be more proud of them and excited to see what they do. They're coming, guys. They are the future of our own leadership. You know, they'll be voting. Some of them vote now. I think they have the right to have an opinion, but I'm really excited to see them dazzle us with what they're doing. So pretty cool. So that's happening today as well. So it's a big day of of young people shining. How's that? That's perfect. You know, they are most certainly our future, and we most definitely need to support them. So even here in Idaho, many reports, I don't think much happened at my kids' high school. As I've told you guys before, incredibly conservative, but in Idaho Falls, which is very near us, 200 students walked out during the walkout, and they have a population, that school has around 1,000 kids, maybe 1,200. So for this area, that's pretty amazing. There were actually schools here who organized events, organized events in safe places for kids to walk out, which I thought was pretty amazing. So anyway, we'll see how things happen. We'll watch them play out. We'll support where we can. Hopefully we'll get out of the way where we can't, because this is what's happening. You know, it reminds me a lot. And of course I wasn't here on the planet at the time, but it reminds me a lot of another time in history when young people had had enough of politicians and enough of bullshit and enough of violence, and they got loud. Did they always make the right choices? Probably not. Does anyone? But they did make a change. They created some social justice, and that's what's happening right now. So pretty neat. I'm loving every bit of it. So okay, so many things to talk about on that note, but I want to show you guys something. So if you're in the chat, you'll benefit from this. If not, I'll take some pictures and share it with you later. But I've been making some orgonite. So I'm going to show you a couple of pieces that I made. So the first one, I'll tell you about it and why. So you guys know I've talked a lot about ethereal metals lately, and using metals in conjunction with crystals to create healing and shifts in the body and in the environment. And I have been thinking about how neat it would be to be able to make orgonite pieces that included the alchemy of those two pieces. And I'm really excited because today, the other exciting thing happening, there's no rest for me today. I will be back after my show. I'm going to pop out and go do a signing. And then I'm going to come back and be a guest on the Long Road with Kai Greenway. And Kai has asked me to come on her show today and talk about ethereal metals. And so ethereal metals is a healing, I guess we'll call it modality, that came up for me, I don't know, about 8 months ago maybe. And so we're going to talk about it a ton on Kai's show, so I'm not really going to talk about it now, except for that I just wanted to share with you guys the orgonite pieces that I've made. I have 2 that I'm going to show you. I made a really cool one that actually Christy has. I gave to Christy when she got her tonsils out for her healing. So the one I'm showing you has, oh, there we go. Okay, it has, the crystal in it is amethyst, and then the metal in it is peacock ore. And this is a stone, or a combination of alchemy. This is a combination of stones and metals to create something. And what this one is intended to do is to help create a deeper connection to spirit, a deeper connection to your guidance, and to create a deeper sense of mysticism. So that's what it's about. So I just wanted to show you guys because it's pretty fun. So of course I will definitely share pictures in the chat room later on if you're not in the live stream, but if you're in the live stream, you can see them. All right, so then the other one I want to show you, incidentally, the one I gave Christy has aquamarine in the top. It's another pyramid. It has aquamarine in the top of it, and then in the bottom of it, it is full of metal flake, of silver flake, because silver is particularly cooling and for inflammation. So since she got her tonsils out, this was about creating cooling and cooling the inflammation. So that's why I had the aqua in the top and then the silver in the bottom. So this other one, this is, it's a cone. So it's not quite a pyramid, but it's pyramid shaped. And this one has lepidolite in the top. That's the crystal. And then in the bottom, it has copper. And the reason why is because, I'm dropping it. The reason why is because the copper is a stone in ethereal metals that we use to help to soothe anxiety and mental anguish. And lepidolite is a stone that we use to soothe anxiety and mental anguish. And so the combination, the alchemy of the two, is powerful for bringing down someone who's feeling especially anxious. So that's the point of this one. So I just wanted to share them with you guys because I think they're pretty fun. I started making them just for my own purposes because I thought it would be fun to have them and to make the combinations of the stones and the metals I've been using. So if you want to learn more about the ethereal metals, then definitely join me today on the Long Road with Kai Greenway. I am going to teach the ethereal alchemy class sometime in April. I haven't written it up and released it yet, though I will here in the next week or two. I'll make sure you guys know all about it. If you are a healer, if you've had some healing modalities, if you've already taken classes, or if you do some healing work that you're really comfortable with, come to this class. I think it's going to blow your minds. It blew mine. This is just stuff that's been coming up for me the last couple of years, and it's pretty awesome. So very fun. I just want you guys to know that's coming. Doesn't have anything to do with making orgonite, but it is using the combination of ethereal crystals and ethereal metals to create alchemy. So that's coming. So anyway, I'm excited about that. I've been thinking a lot about it. I taught it to a local group, just a very tight-knit group of healer friends of mine, because I wanted to make sure that it was exactly what I needed it and wanted it to be. And they definitely, through the process of teaching it to them, it helped me to hone in a little bit on how I wanted things to be. And now I think we're ready to talk about it and to share it and to get there. So very, very exciting stuff. Robert says, how did you make those? I used a mold. I used molds and resin, the clear resin. I used the good Lord, the marine resin. That's what I read to use because it's more clear. And I will tell you that I made a couple that failed, that didn't set up, that turned out awful. So that happens. I made 2 lotuses too that are really cool, but they're not cleaned yet. So I'll share them with you guys later on, but pretty fun. Okay, Raven wants to know, would I consider offering a class on making the orgonite pyramids? Yeah, I would. I definitely would, because I probably need to make a few more and make sure that I know exactly what to tell you. I probably should bring Scott on as a guest teacher because he helped me a lot and was a part of the process of it. But yeah, let's think about it. And maybe here in a month or 2, I'll make some more and make sure that I really know exactly what to avoid so that maybe you guys will make less mistakes than I did because I've made a lot. I've thrown several things away. So anyway, yeah, that's fun. But yes, Raven, I would love to do that. All right. Well, let's do a couple of things. I would love to draw your attention over to Luminous Magazine. Let's start there. You can find Luminous if you head over to katie-weaver.com and click on the Katie's Magazine button. That'll take you right into the magazine. I'm going to put a little link in the chat room for you guys as well. I called the magazine this week the Confidence Edition because so many of the articles I felt like were really great at helping you to boost your confidence, help you to empower yourself to do some things for you, maybe make some changes that need to be made, maybe just stand up for yourself a little bit. So I thought that was kind of fun, really fun actually. And heck yeah, we'll take more confidence. Everybody can use a little of that. So let's go ahead. We're going to just take a look. So of course there's always a note from me. And then there's the 1-2 weather report. Now the 1-2 weather report I write for 1-2 News on Mondays. And if you guys got a chance to listen this week, I actually had a guest host. I had Brittany O. She guest hosted with me since Christy's kind of, you know, not talking a lot right now. And we had a ton of fun. So I hope that you can listen to a replay if you haven't listened, or to the archive. It was a fun show. But I do write the 1-2 weather report, and I like to share it here on the show too. It's just a quick little channeling of the energy of each day so that you have a sense of what to watch out for, maybe what to plan for. I also publish these over at my over on my Instagram. So there's a daily postcard with each of the days, of course, on Instagram, and that's Domestic Mystic on Instagram. Now I would love for you to follow me over there, and then you can get this little reading every day. So let's do that. Okay. Oh, really quickly, Raven said that she's heard that orgonite pyramids are good to help offset harmful EMF and Wi-Fi energies. Yeah, that's true. That's why a lot of people make them, because a lot of people believe that all of the the Wi-Fi and the EMF energies in the airwaves these days are part of what's making people sick and part of what's keeping people from being as dialed in spiritually as they'd like to be. So yeah, absolutely, Raven. That's why a lot of people make them. And so yeah, we can talk about that more, but you're right on the money. All right, so I thought I better get to that because the live stream feeds, it scrolls so fast that I know I'd lose it. So let's go back to the weather report. We can be as ADD as we want to be on this show because we are. That's just a fact. All right, let's start with today, Wednesday. You can usually get away with grinning and bearing it through most frustrations in your life. That may not be the case today. Communication is key as you feel compelled to share your fears with someone close to you. This kind of sharing is good and therapeutic. Thursday. This is a good time to hit the reset button on some part of your life that needs a new beginning. It could be a relationship, habit, pattern, or even just an attitude. This would be a good day for some energy work to help you start fresh. Friday, your spidey senses are peaked today. as you are feeling deeply aware of the energy around you. Empaths will benefit from taking breaks from crowds. Turn to music to help you raise your spirits and flow through the day. Saturday, love is in the air. This is a great day to work on relationships, both romantic and otherwise. Send a sweet note, plan a date, and have some fun celebrating all of the love in your life. And Sunday, this day dawns brimming with hope. Nothing can stifle your optimism. This is a great day to spend some time with like-minded friends. You will have the world's problems solved in one good coffee date. Spread that joy and hope throughout your world. Your friends and family need your light. I love that. So Sunday sure feels good. Alrighty. Okay. Then there's a little note there about Melissa Caprio's Law of Attraction class that she has. She taught it last week, and then it actually wrapped up already, but I believe that you can get the archives from her. You can purchase them from her now if you'd still like to, and still take that class. She is a master of the Law of Attraction. I was thinking this morning about the Law of Attraction when I was thinking about Matea, my daughter, who is having her birthday today, and about experience with the Law of Attraction, or I don't know, do we call it the Law of Attraction with this? Probably. I'll tell you, you decide. When I was pregnant with her, I found out I was pregnant with her by being in a car accident. I was in a car wreck. I had a 6-month-old baby boy at home, my oldest, and I was taken in the ambulance, like strapped on the board and taken in the ambulance to the hospital for a suspected back or neck injury. And the ambulance driver had asked me if I had any allergies or, any reason why I shouldn't have an x-ray. And out of my mouth, I blurted, "I think I'm pregnant." And it shocked me because I did not think I was pregnant. I hadn't said that before. I hadn't even thought that before. I had a brand new baby. But for some reason, I announced to that ambulance that I thought I might be pregnant. And the ambulance driver dismissed me and said, "Oh, well, if you have a brand new baby at home, that's highly unlikely." And, I don't know if it's just the rebel in me or if it was something deeper, but then I dug my heels in and said, "Well, I'm not having an x-ray until I find out." Well, they got me to the hospital and I was hurt and I was in shock and I was a mess, and strapped to that board. And pretty soon my parents got there and my husband got there and they had taken blood, and the doctor came in and he asked my parents to leave. And again, I was in so much shock. I wasn't thinking clearly, but he said to me, "You know that test you asked for?" And me, being an idiot and feeling all weird and stupid, I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, that came back positive." And I sat there and I thought, and my husband said, "What test?" And suddenly the lights turned on and I said, "Wait, are you trying to tell me that I'm pregnant?" And my poor husband sunk into a chair, and indeed I was pregnant. But I also was injured. I had a bruised liver and a bruised spleen from the steering wheel digging into my belly. And so luckily I didn't have I had whiplash, but no other massive injuries. And so we went forward. They had asked for an ultrasound the next morning to make sure the baby was okay, and she was. And I was just a few months along, and the baby was okay. And so I continued on my merry way until I was about 6.5, 7 months along. They did an ultrasound that revealed that she had a very serious birth defect in her intestines. They called it a double bubble. I was never quite sure what that meant. When I asked them what that meant, they told me, "Go home and pray." They said, "You go home and pray." And remember, I live in a very conservative and religious community. And so that's their answer, right? Go home and pray and come back here in a month and we'll take another look and then we'll decide what to do. And I was terrified. And I was But that's what I did. I went home and I called together all of my family and friends that could help support me in that. And I continued to visualize the doctor doing another ultrasound and saying, actually, everything's fine. And every day I would put my hands over my belly and I would talk to that baby and I would tell her that she was okay and that everything was going to be fine. And I would visualize a healthy baby, and I would visualize an appointment in which they did an ultrasound where they said, I don't know what we were thinking. There's nothing there. She's fine. And that's exactly what happened. And she was fine. And she was born healthy and pissed off and perfect. And she's been pissed off ever since. That's her MO. That's how she's changing the world. But at any rate, I was thinking this morning about how, at the time, I don't think I knew very much about visualization. I don't know that I knew very much about the law of attraction, but that's what I did. Now, that doesn't always work, and I know that, and I sure don't want to insinuate that I did something right and someone else did something wrong if they didn't get the same outcome I did, because that would be profoundly unfair and unkind. But in that case, that's what happened. I was thinking this morning about how I've never really put those pieces together before, but I visualized for a straight month that baby being healthy, and indeed she was. So anyway, kind of a fun story there about the law of attraction. All right, well, back to the magazine. The crystal guidance comes to us from Christy, and crystal guidance this week is orange calcite. And I couldn't believe it. I dug around here trying to show you guys a piece of orange calcite, and I don't have one. That needs to be remedied right away. I love orange calcite. But orange calcite balances the sacral chakra, encourages creativity, and eases perfectionism. So if you're always beating yourself up and you're a big perfectionist about stuff, this could help you a lot. And then the card she pulled for us this week from her deck, this is from the Kindred Spirits Energy Oracle deck. The card is the sacral chakra. Now the sacral chakra, of course, the primary message from the sacral is creativity, emotional expression, and core beliefs. The challenge could be feeling stuck or blocked or perfectionism. The crystal, of course, is orange calcite. The meditation is, and I would put my hands right over my sacral when I did this if I were you, and say, I meditate, I feel, I'm going to go back. I feel, I create, I communicate, I matter. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. That might be something that is important to remind yourself every day sometimes. I know that we all go through periods where we feel very small and very insignificant and very lost. And I think that this mantra, and maybe you would do it with a mala, with beads, or maybe you just chant it, or maybe just repeat it over and over. I feel, I create, I communicate, I matter. And I think for some people, I think sometimes during tough times in your life, it might be hard to say it. It might be hard to feel it. And I think in those moments, it's when you continue to push forward and remember it and remind yourself of that and refuse to let anyone else decide for you that you don't matter. That's my opinion. All right. The rest of the magazine I will let you discover for yourselves. Lots of great articles this week. And again, I felt like it was a great week of helping us to build and gain confidence, and that's one of the reasons I loved it so much. All right, jumping back into the chat room. Yes, Robert said, thank God you were okay. Your angels were protecting you. You know, Robert, from that accident, I have always said that that baby had angels because the airbag didn't engage. That's one of the more interesting parts of this story probably, and I forgot to tell it. The airbag didn't engage, and it was a head-on collision. So the airbag should have engaged, right? It should have been all over that mess, right? It was actually 2 cars that wrecked in front of me, and one of them ricocheted off and hit me. But at any rate, the baby was at home with my mom, so he was luckily not even in the accident. The doctor told me, had the airbag engaged, there's no way the baby would have lived. I'm short. I sit very close to the steering wheel, too close to the steering wheel. And they felt like had the airbag not malfunctioned, it would have probably resulted in a miscarriage. So at any rate, she had angels that day, and I had angels that day, without a doubt. It's a pretty amazing story, the beginning of her life. The first time I told it to her, she cried her eyes out and asked me why in the world I would have told her that story, because she almost died and it scared the crap out of her. But I think it's a great story for her to know and remember, because she's obviously supposed to be here. And I think that becomes more and more apparent throughout her life as she continues to change the world around her. Pretty special. Okay. Alrighty, so let's do a little work. I actually brought my third eye bowl today, so let's do a little singing bowl work. Marion. Okay, Marion wanted to, let me back up. She wants to hear that meditation one more time. It is, I feel, I create, I communicate, I matter. I feel, I create, I communicate, I matter. Okay, awesome. All right, so I brought an itty bitty singing bowl to the table today. It is my little third eye bowl. Not very big, it's a little chimey one. I love this bowl because, there you go, she's got it. I've been talking to a lot of you guys the last week or so that have pressure in your third eye and have been feeling like your third eye is not very balanced. So that's why we're going to use this little guide today to work on the third eye. So I'm going to chime the bowl. I might try to sing it too. We'll see what it does. I usually just chime them on the show because it's just an awkward position with my headset, but this bowl is a beautiful singer, so we might give her a shot. So if it gets weird and clangy, you'll know why. Your job is to go with me deep into your brain and then draw down from the top of your head, from the universe, light. Draw white light down through the top of your head and then send that as a powerful purple ray of light through your third eye. It might take you a little bit of practice, but I know you can do it. This is this is beaming through your third eye. This to me is one of the most powerful ways to balance your third eye that there is. So again, we're going to focus our consciousness deep in our brains and then drawing light from the universe down through the top of your head, gathering it up in deep within, and then sending a powerful beam of purple light through your third eye. Of course, holding the intention that will help us to create balance and perfect sight. So balance and perfect sight. So I'm going to play the bowl, and I want you to take yourself through that exercise a couple of times. Okay? Now let's get started, and you guys can tell me how that goes for you. See if I can get my hand together here. Okay. Okay, perfect. So that's how you beam from your third eye. That's also just how you gather up that energy down, through, and out. I've got so much heat in my third eye right now that that was a great positive way to make that work. So I love it. So I hope that brought a little balance for you. But again, if you ever have a time that you feel like you are feeling blocked in your third eye, this is a great way to just help open it up. So easy enough, right? Okay, awesome. Did you guys see there's a brand new show that is on NBC? It's called Rise. Last night was the premiere of it. And I DVR'd it. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I'm hoping I'll be able to peel a little time out later this evening. We'll see. But I am so excited for it. So it's going to be, it looks like it's kind of like Glee, only a little different, different setting and whatnot. Anyway, I just am curious if you guys watched it, if you're excited about it. It's yet again another experience with kids who are rising up and doing something wonderful. So I'm hoping it's awesome. So if anybody watched it, let me know if it's great. It looks great. All right, so it's time for our Ground Plus Protect and Move reading. So I'm just getting a few cards out and ready here. So this, of course, is the deck that I published earlier this year with the Psychic Sisters. And you can get a lot more information about it over at katie-weaver.com. There's a tag or a link for a button. There you go. A button for the Katie's Oracle cards. You can find it there if you'd like to purchase the deck or the book. There's a book you can buy through Amazon. You can get it in paper or through their digital, through Kindle, that has pictures of all of the cards and descriptions of all of them. Or you can buy the cards themselves from a different company, the company who prints them. Or you can buy both so that you have the whole set, but that's how it works. We have gotten very creative to be able to self-publish cards. That's been something that's been pretty much impossible in the past, and now we are finding some ways to make it happen. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, I'm going to do a reading for you to give you some spiritual care techniques to get you through the week. So the idea of this deck is that we are always taking good care of our bodies, and we need to also attend to taking better care of our spirits. We neglect our spirits so much of the time, and especially if you're feeling like you just need a little extra boost or a little extra help, this is really important to really think about and get conscious about good spiritual care. So I'm just pulling a few cards here. So there's 5 cards. We'll do a card from every category. So we'll do a ground card, a bless card, a protect card, a move card, and a boost card. Okay, here we go. All right, the ground card is the forest card. So the forest card indicates that it would behoove you to get yourself outside this week. We ground really well with trees and with the energy of trees, partly because trees a lot of times, especially trees in forests, they ground in networks. Their roots intermingle and they ground themselves into the earth deeply together. And when you go into the forest and you send your root chakra down into the earth to intermingle with theirs, it's not only just a very grounding experience, I think it's a sacred experience when you get the opportunity to feel the energy of the trees in the forest and the way they work together. Now, I know not everyone can just take a little jaunt out to the forest, but even the park, even a place where you can just experience the energy of trees for a little while, you'd really benefit from that this week. So that's our ground card. All right, our bless card is the crown chakra. So the crown chakra, of course, is the chakra right above your head. This is your connection to God, Goddess, the universe, creator, none of the above, all of the above. This is how you connect to the universe, a universal source. To balance the crown chakra, I would recommend putting your hands right in it and speaking to yourself whatever it is you need. Is your crown in balance? Are you thinking clearly? Are you able to focus? Are you anxious? Are you depressed? Are you razor sharp? Just some food for thought. The crown chakra is a spot that really affects all of our thought patterns. Are you overthinking everything? Are you just zoning out and feeling ambivalent to everything? Whatever it is you need to have from your crown, speak those things. So put your hands in your crown and say all of the things that you need to have. My crown is in perfect balance. I am sharp and in tune. I am connected to energies beyond myself. Whatever it is you need, that's how you balance that. That's how you bless that. All right. The Protect card is White Light Shower. This is one of my favorite techniques for protecting, and I think it's our the same protection card that came up last week, so that's kind of fun. I do this in the shower every day, but you don't have to be in the shower. It is a visualization, but visualize a cosmic shower head, right? Coming down from the universe, pouring over you, white light, unconditional love, the life force energy of the universe, pouring over your body, over your spirit, completely immersing you in this protective white light. That's how you do it. And again, I know a lot of my clients, and Christy and I have talked about this lots of times, it's very easy to visualize this and do this while you're standing under the shower head in your shower. But you don't have to be, of course, because it is a visualization. All right, so that's Protect. Okay, and then Move. The Move card is Cycling. All right, is everybody going to hop on a bike this week? Probs not, but maybe some of you will. But here's the point of the Move cards. Movement is really important to spiritual care because the more you move your body, the more you move yourself, the better you feel physically. It breaks up stuck energy in your body. It also helps to give you a nice little download of happy hormones in your brain. So movement is actually key to spiritual care. So when I pull a Move card, if it's not something that you normally do, do something else. Take a walk around the block, go swimming, turn up the radio and dance to your music in your living room with your cat. I don't care. Do something that feels good for you. This isn't about wearing yourself out. This isn't about hurting yourself. And it's sure not about shaming anybody for exercising or not exercising, because it's not about exercising. It's about moving to feel amazing. That's it. Even if it's 5 minutes, guys, that's something. Okay. And then yoga and stretching also fantastic for moving in spiritual support. All right. And then the Boost card is Daydream. Daydream or dream all day. You need a break to rest and rejuvenate. Your mind, body, and spirit need a jammy day. So lay on your bed or lay on the couch or sit in your favorite recliner or sit outside if it's nice enough and just let your thoughts go. This isn't about meditation where you're trying to maybe monitor your thoughts more. This is just about you giving yourself a few minutes to just zone out. When I was a kid, my grandma would do this, and I always thought she was asleep, and she'd say, "Oh no, I'm just resting my eyes. Just resting my eyes." I always think that's funny, but she wasn't resting her eyes. She was daydreaming. She's probably daydreaming about the day that these damn kids quit messing up her house. But she was daydreaming. Daydreaming is important. It's sometimes how the best intuition and inspiration comes through. Sometimes it's how you remove yourself from situations that are stressful and aren't bringing you joy and give you an opportunity to fly away for a few minutes. If you haven't daydreamed in a while, give yourself that opportunity. Really, it's perfect. Okay. I am going to jump into the chat room. Okay, Robert says, I want to know about a settlement I'm waiting on. Will it all be positive and enough to purchase a new home? Yes, it will. Robert, the timing of it is very iffy. I feel like the timing of it's the thing that's going to make you the most uncomfortable, and that even when it seems like everything is really finally coming together, there will still be a few delays. And so you need to just be aware of that and be as patient as you can with it. I know it's already been frustrating as hell, and it's going to continue to be for a little while, but I do feel like you're going to come out of it well enough. I feel like you're still going to feel kind of a little pinched just because of everything that has to be paid from it. But I still feel like you will be able to come out of it with enough to buy a new home. So it is good news. But again, the timing of it, I don't have a timeline for you. I wouldn't even try because there's just too many moving parts. It's not predictable. However, it is going to be in your favor. So hang in there on that. Always advocating for yourself, you know. Alicia thought it was Friday. She didn't know why in the world I was on the air today. We all have days like that. I get you. This week's moving so fast for me. I'm surprised I didn't think it was Friday. All right. Just looking through the chat room real quick. Sorry, guys. It takes me a minute. All right. Okay, Shannon says, having a very intense energy day, would love some guidance. Oh, let's tune into you, Shannon. Okay, so you look to me like a lightning rod taking one hit after another. Like you literally are just under fire. So let's do a couple of things for you. You need a better grounding. That's going to help. You have a pretty fragile root chakra, and today, because of all of the energies of other people and the expectations of other people around you, your root's pretty out of whack. So let's do that first. Let's ground you, but let's put some protection around you too to deflect all of this BS, right? All right. All of this BS. I don't know why that's funny, but that makes me laugh. Okay. So I'm going to ground you first. I'm gathering up your root chakra, sending it deep into the earth. The left side of the small of your back, you've got a cord there. This is something that hit you from someone else. It feels like it came from a female. It feels like it is based in jealousy, though I feel like this is a person who is pretty good at belittling you. So grounding you, but I'm going to pull that cord here in a second too. No wonder you feel overwhelmed, sister. You are. Okay, the ground is better. Let's fix the crown too. Can't do one without the other. All right, that's going to release a little pressure too from your jaw, interestingly. The crown isn't normally lined up with the jaw, but as I fix that root and balance the crown, I felt a really good release of energy through your jaw. I think you've been clenching. Sorry, hit my mic. I think you've been clenching pretty good. And so let's release that. They're telling me that clenching your jaw is something that triggers some pretty intense headaches in you. So let's be very aware of that. All right, now that cord in your back, I'm not going to let that stay. So we're going to yank that out and heal it with love. We're going to just return it to her. It's actually a part of her spirit. I'm going to heal that in you. Nice. So it was really, that was pretty intense. It was keeping your energy from flowing as good as it should. And now I'm going to use an ethereal metals technique to protect your spirit, Shannon. I'm using aluminum because aluminum helps to just reflect people's energies back to them when I wrap someone in aluminum. So the idea behind that is to just wrap you up really good and protect you from, just shield you from energy coming at you. So let's do that now. So that's employing the technique of ethereal metals using aluminum. So we'll wrap you up in some shiny stuff here. Excellent. I just keep hearing that old kid saying that I'm rubber and you're glue, and whatever you say bounces off me and sticks on you. And that's pretty much what I'm setting up on you, right? So you're a mirror. So we're putting aluminum around you so that whatever negativity is coming at you just reflects back and doesn't land on you. All right, that feels a lot better to me. I still feel like you need some good self-care today. I hope that you can take a little time to take a nap or take a few minutes for you, at least go to Starbucks or, best case scenario, get a massage, do something that really supports you and is loving for you. You've got to take a step back from so many expectations from other people that are just absolutely smothering you. All right, Shannon, so there you go. Let me know if I can help you further. I would love to do that. All right, Kinga says, just wondering if you're seeing any major upcoming events in my life. Kinga, yeah, there's a real possibility 2018 could be quite the year for you. Now, they're telling me that there's been a lot of, here's what they say, okay? You're going to want to pinch me. I'm glad I'm here and you're there for a minute. Because they're saying that there's been a lot of you asking for change, but then when change comes, digging your heels in and refusing to have change. That makes me laugh. Does that sound like you? You tell me. But yes, there is a real possibility for change. This year, there is a real possibility here for you to relocate. I don't even know that you'd change towns as much as just moving. But there is a possible change in store here for you, really changing the environment around you. I feel like work-wise, there's a possibility of change there too, but I'm a little less convinced that you'll actually do it, though you might surprise me and do that. But more than that, it's about changing where you're living and I think potentially changing in your relationship. So yeah, big changes, but again, they're all possibilities, but none of them are set in stone because like they're telling me, you have a habit of, asking for change, but then when change tries to present itself saying, nope, I changed my mind, I'm not ready. And that's okay. It's not a criticism. It's okay. You have to allow change to happen in your world as you're comfortable because otherwise, well, that would just be damn unfair, right? And sometimes we don't get to control it. Lots of times we don't get to control it. But you be aware that as you're manifesting, as you're asking, when change comes, take a deep breath, get your heels out of the dirt, and let it flow. And see if you can, and see what happens. So you're safe, you're okay, and yes, change is afoot. Change is in store for you. It's good. She says, LOL, she knows. Okay. That makes me laugh. Okay, we're just about out of time, but quickly, Katie says her daughter Jamie is having difficulties the last few months. Any guidance on what can help? Jamie just feels pissed off to me, Katie. She feels to me like she's just mad. She's mad at the world. She's mad at her circumstances. She's mad at people around her. It's like everything doesn't feel like it's really going her way right now. And finding ways to help her express that mad is good. It's like a deep core mad, and I think you see it come to the surface every once in a while. But for the most part, she's having a hard time being able to just say, you know what? I'm mad. I'm angry. I don't like the way these things are going. And she tries, I think, to stay really strong for you and for Janessa, but it's hard for her sometimes because she is still a kid. And so just letting her vent, letting her have that conduit. And I wonder about helping her to find more physical ways to burn off some of that anger energy and to continue to talk about it is good for her. And maybe some way when to talk about that isn't you, because I think sometimes that it keeps her from being able to really speak all of her emotions because she's protecting you from them. So that's what I'm feeling for her. She's such a good kid, sending lots and lots of love to you guys. Okay, guys, we've done what we do. We've talked down to the end of the show. I want to let you guys know you'll find me here back in an hour with Kai Greenway on the long road, talking about ethereal metals. You'll find me tomorrow with the Psychic Sisters. And you'll see me in and out over at one2listen.com for the rest of the day and evening. So you are listening to 12 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.